Hello, I'm Rachel Sherwood with ImpressionsAtHome.com and welcome. I believe that entertaining should be fun, and with the proper tools and planning, you can spend less time in the kitchen and more time with your family and friends. Here's a look at the highlights of how to set up your home for success. Sweet. Okay, so the first demo that we're talking about is all about flowers. I think that setting a mood is really important, and flowers are a great way to do that. They add freshness and life to any sort of room. So oftentimes you can go to the grocery store, and this is actually the $8 grocery store bouquet that I picked up here. Or you can give these as great hostess gifts. But a wonderful thing to do, I found, is to not just take the bouquet like this and shove it in one vase, but to take the flowers and actually break them apart so that you can have multiple little vases. Another thing to do is to cut the flower stem at an angle with a knife, not a scissors. When you cut them with the scissors, you're actually crushing the stem, which makes it so that the flower can't drink up water as easily and it won't last as long. Take a sharp knife and just pull it towards you with an angle. And you can break the large pieces apart. These don't need to be so big. And you can make a bunch of little bouquets that can go all around the house. And I also look, when I'm looking for flowers, to look for flowers that are long-lasting flowers. So this bouquet here has a bunch of daisies, carnations. This is aster, and this is alstroemeria. Anything like these are long-lasting flowers. You can be creative with your vases. So I've got little cordial glasses like here, where you can just put really simple, just one flower. Stick away from things that have really wide lids, because these are going to take more flowers and are going to be harder to arrange in. Anything that's smaller like this is going to be great, or even juice glasses, small juice glasses, water glasses. You don't need to go to the store and buy a bunch of little vases. You can look around your house and see what you already have. I love these mums. These are probably my favorite entertaining flower, because you can get a big bouquet of these and just chop them off, or if a flower breaks, you just chop them off at the end and put them in a bubble bowl like this. So you can stretch one $8 bouquet into several bouquets that can go all over the house.
And I learned a lot from the flower demonstration, just even like what kind of flowers to buy, about how to cut them, which I really didn't know.
The thing I liked best about that was using flowers that last a long time. I've always loved having flowers around. My mom always had them growing up, but I don't usually have them that often because they die right away.
Knife is the most essential part of the kitchen, and this is my everyday home knife set. I took this right out of the drawer. It's a little bamboo box. And these are my knives. I don't have a full set. You don't need a full set if you have knives that really work well for you. What I want to talk about mainly is the difference between a stamped knife and a forged knife, and I have both. So the main difference between a forged knife and a stamped knife is a forged knife is made from a process of heating or cooling, making the knife really, really strong and firm. It's not going to be very flexible. It's going to keep its edge really well. And if you take care of this knife and keep it sharp, it's going to last you a lifetime. These are a little bit more expensive, but like I said, if you invest in them and keep them out of the dishwasher, because the dishwasher will, the heat and the soap of the dishwasher is really harsh on your knife, and that's going to deteriorate its quality quicker. The stamped knives then, these are made from like a cookie cutter. So a cookie cutter comes and like just stamps a piece of metal from a sheet, and they're a little bit more flexible. They're lightweight, they're going to be inexpensive. They won't keep their knife edge as well, but you can still sharpen them and keep them. But they're probably more your disposable knife. If you throw them in the dishwasher, they're going to be fine. The forged knives usually have a bolster, which is where you can hold the knife. You can see that this knife actually runs all the way through the handle, and the stamped knives actually just end right here at the handle. So they're not as balanced as the forged knives too. So this is a little bit more comfortable in your hand, and it's all a preference. And if you're going to invest in something, make sure that you have that one really good knife that really fits you well. You don't necessarily need to have a whole set. Then the last thing is the 3 knives that you should have. If you're going to invest and you're going to have a good set of knives, I have the chef's knife. This is going to be your workhorse. Any type of serrated knife for any of your breads and cakes, and then a small paring knife. And the cheapest, most inexpensive kitchen upgrade that you can do is just to sharpen your knives. If you're looking for a better kitchen experience, sharpen your knives.
I got done watching the knife demo, and actually it was really interesting, learning differences between stamped and forged knives, and I picked up a lot from it. Case in point, that you should never put forged knives into a dishwasher.
And it was really interesting that Rachel only has a few select knives and she keeps them in a drawer, which I think is an awesome idea because it doesn't take up counter space. And I loved all of the different knife sharpening techniques.
Should I get nonstick pans? Should I get stainless steel pans? What do I do, Rachel? And as you see, these are both my everyday pans. I use both, and they're good for different things. The nonstick pan, this has a coating in it, and this particular one is actually a hard anodized pan, so this cannot go in the dishwasher. These also, eventually, no matter how good your pan is, and I don't care what they say that the coating's never gonna come off, eventually the coatings are going to come off and you're going to need to get a new pan. A stainless steel pan, if you get a high quality one, it's gonna last you for a lifetime. The main difference for these is kind of cooking style. These, you don't necessarily, the non-stick, you don't have to put any oil or fat or anything in. And stainless steel, you do. So here I'm gonna give you a nice demonstration of how these work. So, some people say that you can't get a sear in a non-stick pan, and that is absolutely incorrect. You can get a good sear in a non-stick pan. You just have to make sure that your pan is nice and hot. For a stainless steel pan, you have to use a butter or an oil or some sort of fat in order to make this work. So if you're on a low-calorie diet, stainless steel probably isn't going to be the one for you. You'll probably be happier with a non-stick pan. So the other thing with stainless steel pan is that you need to make sure that they're preheated. You can hold your hand over it and feel that it's nice and hot. That's imperative because if you put chicken in a cold pan, it's going to stick. The other great thing about a stainless steel pan is that these will tell you when it's ready to flip. So you want to have patience here. So like here I can move this around. It doesn't really matter. It's going to come up. I can be the impatient chef and keep looking at this and looking at this and looking at this. These, they're going to stick. And it kind of tears the flesh away. But so you should let these ones sit longer and not touch them. As these you can go and you can move around and check and look at. Okay, so see, like, because it's not done, it starts to stick and it pulls away at the chicken. So normally you just want to let these sit, usually about 3 to 4 minutes per side, and it will tell you, it will naturally lift from the pan when it's ready to move.
So once it's seared, then it'll lift.
Yeah, it will let go from the pan. So like that. So see how beautiful that is? So you get a nice sear from this chicken. So it's just stainless steel. Think I can go in the dishwasher. I need to use a fat or an oil, and I need to have patience. Okay? So then non-stick, think I need to be replaced in the next year or two. I shouldn't be using metal utensils because that will, again, ruin your coating. And I don't need to use the fat. So if we're on low-calorie stuff, these are going to be the best ones. The other main difference about the stainless steel and the non-stick is that nothing sticks to this. So we've got a little bit of stuff there, but not much. They're very easy to clean. But here, like we've got some nice little brown particles and some skin that has been stuck to this. What you can do here is you can add a little bit of white wine or some mustard or some fresh herbs, and you can reduce this and add a little salt and pepper, and it will actually clean the bottom of the pan for you. It's called deglazing. Even if you're not going to use the pan sauce, add a little water to it while it's hot, and it becomes clean. See that? And then you can let this reduce, and this becomes your pan sauce. You can't get pan sauces from your non-stick pans. And then that's like your finishing sauce, so that goes right over your chicken. I like this pan. This is my absolute favorite pan. I was telling Amy earlier, if you're gonna pick just one pan, I would do the straight-sided 10-inch sauté pan, or it's a sautoir, because you can do so much. You can do cakes, you can do frittatas, you can braise, you can do risottos, you can even do soups. If you're a college student and you're just in a small apartment, this is the one pan to have because you can do so much. Stainless steel, non-stick, they're both good. Just learn how to use them.
But I have to tell you, I'm motivated here to go through my drawers, to go through my spice cabinet. I've taken pictures of your suggested lists for, what to have in the cupboard and what's not to be without in the freezer. Your passion has certainly ignited a passion in me, and I'm thrilled.
After all is said and done, people won't necessarily remember if you had the perfect decorations or perfect food, but they will remember how much fun they had. What matters most is the experiences you create, Those are the things that will make memories to last a lifetime. I'm here to make that simple and easy while you can do it and still keep your sanity. If you have cooking or entertaining questions, log on to impressionsathome.com. I'm here to help. And remember, life should be fun. You can get your free guide to 5 steps to hosting stress-free events by visiting impressionsathome.com.